And the Indian Sports Network is on the air. Good evening, everyone. This is Kenny Masterson coming to you live from St. Peters, Missouri, where we are at Fort Zumwalt East High School. And we're about to see a game tonight between the Fort Zumwalt East Lady Lions and the visiting team, which happens to be your hometown Elsberry Lady Indians. I've seen Fort Zumwalt East play 2 or 3 games this past week at the Winfield tournament, and they're a pretty darn good team. I was talking to their coach before the game a few minutes ago, and he was telling me that he's got 3 starters that are out right now. So that's definitely not in their favor. But they are 2-1 on the season, coming off of all 3 of those games were in the Winfield tournament. They won the first 2 games, and then were taken down by Lift for Life in the championship game, but that still gave them a second-place finish at the Winfield tournament. The Lady Indians, on the other hand, are 3-3, and they're coming off of a not-so-successful Winfield tournament. They just couldn't seem to get much of anything done there. They were 1 for 3 in that tournament. They won the first game and then lost the second 2. But they lost them to very good teams. So maybe they can get things back on track here. This will be a very tough team right here to play. But you only improve by playing good teams. You don't improve by playing teams that are really bad. So hopefully they can improve on what they've done so far in the season. Again, they're 3-3. And so anyway, let's throw a commercial in here real quick. We got 6 minutes and 50 seconds till this game starts. Just where they have me set up here tonight, I can't see the clocks very well. I can see the minutes on the clock to my left and the seconds on the clock to my right. So I can see the scores. Everything else is pretty hard to see. There's stuff in the way. This gymnasium set up a little bit different than others I've seen set up. But either way, let's go ahead and throw a commercial in here before we get into the rosters.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
All right, let's go ahead and go through the Fort Zumwalt East Lady Lions roster. On the roster tonight for them is number 3, Kara Johnston. She is a 5'5" senior. Number 4, Paige Morgan, a 5'5" sophomore. Number 5, Megan Albers. She's a 5'5" junior. Number 10, Perry Hogan. She's a 5'1" senior. Number 15, Liz Behan. She is a 6'2" senior. Number 21, Yasmin Edmondson. She is a 5'11" sophomore. Number 22, Emily Wright, a 5'5" senior. Number 23, Jalen Head, a 5'6" junior. Number 24, Maya I'll say it here right in a second here. Wobling. She's a 5'8" senior. Number 33, Cheyenne Green, a 5'11" junior. And number 35, Talia Williams. She's a 5'10" junior. The Lady Lions are coached by Kyle Brown and assisted by Phil Crawford. And so that is, I'll give you the starting lineups as they announce them tonight. Now starting for the Elsberry Lady Indians is number 2, Tanisha Henderson, otherwise known as Tiny Henderson. She's a 5'2" junior. Number 4, Peyton Robinson, a 5'9" sophomore. Number 5, Addison Steele, a 5'6" freshman. Number 10, Candace Dowell, a 5'3" freshman. Number 11, Neosha Henderson, a 5'1" freshman. Number 12, Kylie Kinsler, a 5'7" junior. Number 14, Abby Jenkins, a 5'5" sophomore. Number 15, Mackenzie Gladney, a 5'8" freshman. Number 20, Kelsey Flaster, a 5'9" sophomore. Number 24, Lily Smith, a 5'7" sophomore. Number 25, Samara Manuel, she is a 5'10" freshman. Number 31, Bella Mozzie, a 5'8" sophomore. Number 32, Olivia Kinsler, a 5'10" freshman. Number 41, Alyssa Love, a 5'6" freshman. And number 43, Tyra Henderson, a 5'7" junior. Head coach for the Lady Indians is Carrie Koch-Dowell, assisted by Brittany Koch-Dowell. And before this game, we just got done watching a half of a junior varsity game. They just played 2 quarters of it. Elsberry just doesn't have enough players to be able to play 2 full games. They have to use some of their JV players on the varsity. That game ended up with the Lady Lions, the JV Lady Lions, defeating Elsberry Lady Indians by a score of 16-12. And that game did go into overtime. So they played 2 quarters plus a 4-minute overtime. And so till they get ready here, we have 2.5 minutes to go until they start this game. But I'll give you the starting lineups as they come up. Let's go ahead and take another quick break here.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Okay, we are back, and they are getting ready to announce the starting lineups right now. Giving a couple of Misha announcements. Now we're going to do the national anthem, so we'll be taking a break for that. Okay, we are back. Now we'll do the starting lineups for each team. Okay, starting tonight for your Elsberry Lady Indians. Number 2, Tiny Henderson. Number 4, Peyton Robinson. Number 12, Kylie Kinsler. They kind of got him out of order. Number 43, Tyra Henderson. Number 15, Mackenzie Gladney. And say the name once more. Number 4, Peyton Robinson. She jumped up before they even announced her, because they normally go in numerical order. All right, now starting for the Fort Zumwalt East Lady Lions. Number 22, Emily Wright. Number 35, Tylea Williams. Number 21, Yasmin Edmondson. Number 33, Cheyenne Green. Number 15, Liz Behan. There's your starters for the Fort Zumwalt East Lady Lions. So we have a fresh 8 minutes on the clock for the first quarter. Teams are getting their final instructions from their coaches, and Elsberry's out on the court. Peyton Robinson to the center to get ready to jump, and she's going to be jumping against Liz Behan, who's about 6 feet taller than her. Here is the jump. And imagine that, Fort Zumwalt got it. So, Fort Zumwalt has the ball out on the point. Being handled by Cheyenne Green. She gets it back over to Emily Wright. Now it's down on the low post. Back out on the high post to Emily Wright. And the pass is stolen by Mackenzie Gladney. And Tiny Henderson has it. Gets it over to Kylie Kinsler. Gets it underneath to Peyton Robinson. She puts it up and drops it in for 2 points. So Elsberry's the first to, they are the first to strike blood here. Sorry I didn't get that camera over there in time. And the ball is stolen by Kylie Kinsler. She gets the ball back to Tiny. She gets underneath to Tyra. She got the ball up, got the shot up, and it was good, except that she was called for traveling, so the shot was no good. Gotta keep a hold of this camera here. For a job like this, I need about 9 hands. And there was Tylea Williams caught traveling. So Kinsler's taking it out of bounds for Tiny Henderson. Score is 2-0. Peyton Robinson with the ball out of there. Here's a 3-point shot, and it's good for Tiny. And just like that, Elsberry has a 5-0 lead. Brought up the court by Tylea Williams. Down on the low post. They get the ball down underneath. Hit the ball underneath to Yasmin Edmondson, and she or somebody is called, okay, that was on her, called for a pushing foul. That's obviously her first foul of the night, since it's the first foul of the game. Kinsler into Tiny Henderson. Kinser's taking it around, almost taken out of her hand. There's Tiny with another three-point shot. And this time it didn't work for her. So turnover to the Lady Lions. And Emily Wright bringing it up. Well, she was bringing it up the court. She decided against it. She changed her mind. There's a 20-foot shot for Tylea Williams. Good for 2 points. Mackenzie Gladney has it at the free throw line. Gets it back out to Kylie. Tyra Henderson out on the point, being guarded heavily. And here's Tanisha taking it in. She drives it around. That ball's almost stolen by Fort Zumwalt. Tyra's taking it in, gets it back out. All right. Elsberry's having a heck of a time getting the ball inside. Tyra puts it up and draws a foul. And that foul is on Cheyenne Green. It's her first foul. Puts Tyra Henderson on the line. First shot is up and good. Second shot will be in play. And it's good. All right, Fort Zumwalt bringing it up the court. There's a 20-foot shot there. No good. And Tiny Henderson jumped right in there with Liz Bahan for a jump ball, and it is a good thing they don't have the old rules again. I'd love to see that jump between those two. Tiny Henderson taking it right up the middle, and the shot is blocked by Bahan. And a foul is called on Tanisha Henderson. That's going to be her first of the night. So Fort Zumwalt breaking it up the court. They get the ball to the free throw line to Bahan. She had some trouble dribbling it, and we have a foul called there. And there's a second foul on Tiny Henderson. So quickly, 2 fouls on Tiny Henderson, with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Shot by Bahan is no good. Puts it up again, and she's called for travel. Well, let's see. There's a controversy on what they're calling. All right, traveling one out. Thought for a second that maybe they're going to have a traveling foul. Okay. Meantime, Candace Dowell is in now for Tanisha Henderson. She gets it up the court over to McKenzie. Now Kylie has it out on the point. Ooh, bad pass right there. And just a lot of fumbling around with the ball. Nobody seemed to want the ball. Fort Zumwalt finally had it and was heading for their basket, but they never really gained control. And now Elsberry has it back again. Candace Dowell tried driving in, and it wasn't there. So Peyton Robinson with the ball. She does drive in, but putting the ball down and dribbling didn't seem to be part of her plan. She's called for a travel. There's Emily Wright bringing it up, gets it over to Williams. The ball back out to Wright again. She's out on the point. And there's Kylie Kinsler doing what she does best, and that is break up a pass. No pressure at all by the Lions, Lady Lions, on a throw-in. They're guarding closely during the game. There's a 20-foot shot for Tyra Henderson. Rebound goes to Cheyenne Green. And the Lions bring it up the court. There's a three-point attempt. And long shots equal long rebounds, and that ball came out of bounds. So once again, Elsberry's ball. 3 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The score is 7-2, Elsberry over the Lady Lions. They get the ball down on the baseline. Now it's back out to Tyra Henderson. Back out on the point to Candace Dowell. And Peyton looked at a a three-point shot. Tyra Henderson puts up a 25-foot shot, and it's not there. So the Lady Lions bringing it down the court again. Megan Albers is in the game now for Fort Zumwalt. And there was an offensive foul called on Liz Bahan. And that's her second foul of the game. So already Elsberry with one player with 2 fouls and Fort Zumwalt with one player with 2 fouls. Awful early in the game to be thinking about fouls. Kinsler out there's from the baseline. There's another 2-point shot there. Long 2-point shot for Tyra Henderson, and it wasn't there. Get the ball. Fort Zumwalt gets the ball in deep to Yasmin Edmondson. She takes it in for 2 points, and she draws a foul. And that foul is on Tyra Henderson. That's her first. So Yasmin Edmondson to the line, trying to make this a 3-point play. Free throw is up and good. That makes the score 7-5 with a little over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Elsberry jumped on top, but Fort Zumwalt has inched their way back. Ball is out of bounds to Elsberry. They get it into Tyra Henderson. Shot was up by Candace Dowell, no good. There was a shot by Kinsler, no good. Rebound went to Elsberry. Now they get it down deep to Peyton Robinson, and she dribbled it off the foot of a Fort Zumwalt player. I thought it went off of her foot, but apparently not. So Candace Dowell has the ball to throw it in from underneath the basket. Gets it into Tyra Henderson. Over to Gladney. There's Dowell for 3 points, and it's good. Minute and a half left in the first quarter, and Fort Zumwalt with the ball. 10-5 is the score. Elsberry over Fort Zumwalt East. There was a pass right underneath to Yasmin Edmondson for 2 more points. Beautiful play there. Candace Dowell dribbling around everybody, and she draws a foul as she's dribbling around. That's on Emily Wright. That's her first. So Kinsler to take it out of bounds. Gets it into Peyton Robinson. Tyra has it, now over to Dowell again. There was a bad pass right there. Goes right over to Fort Zumwalt. And Yasmin Edmondson tried to go up with the ball, and she was knocked to the ground. Fort Zumwalt gets the ball in, and it's broken up by Bella Mawsey. But Fort Zumwalt gets it back. And Yasmin Edmondson turns around with another 2 points and draws the foul. That foul's on Mackenzie Gladney. And I must have missed that last one. They said that's her second foul. So she sits down. Peyton Robinson's in. Bella Mawsey's in. At the line for a free throw, and it's good. She looks pretty confident at the free throw line. All right, Elsberry keeping the ball on the outside. Tyra Henderson picks up her dribble. Here's a long 2-point shot for Dowell. Not there, but she grabs for her own rebound and is tied up with Emily Wright. Goes for a jump ball. And on the alternating possessions, that's going to go over to Fort Zumwalt with 9.1 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The score is all tied up 10-10. They get the ball in deep, and nobody has it. All right, that was a jump ball called. So with 2.7 seconds, Kylie Kinser's going to throw it into Dowell. She's going to take it and just kind of throw it up, and it is no good. So that's the end of the first quarter. The score is 10-10. So let's take a quick break here.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, at the end of the first quarter, we have Tiny Henderson with 3 points, Peyton Robinson with 2, Candace Dowell with 3, and Tyra Henderson with 2. And for Fort Zumwalt, we've got Yasmin Edmondson with 8 points and Talia Williams with 2. So Elsberry's got the ball to start this second quarter. Bella Mawsey has it now. Long cross-court pass right into the hands of Fort Zumwalt. Emily Wright out on the point. She's trying to get a play set up. Gets the ball in deep to Bayhan, and she's up for 2 points. That's her first 2 points of the game. And with that, Fort Zumwalt has taken the lead, 12-10. Candace Dowell running around the outside. And as she's being guarded very closely by Emily Wright, Emily Wright commits a foul. And that's her second foul of the night. And they're going to put that ball, bring it in out of bounds from under the basket. Don't really understand that, but that's where they're going to put it. Kylie Kinser takes a 10-foot shot, no good. And Bayhan up with the rebound. The Lady Lions down the court. Talia Williams has it. Here's a long three-point shot, no good for Fort Zumwalt. And Cheyenne Green went up for that shot from right underneath, and the foul was committed by Abby Jenkins. So that puts Cheyenne Green on the line for 2 shots. First shot is up, and it's good. Second shot is even better. 14-10. Candace Dow brings it up, and she's defended. They are all over her. Abby Jenkins with an outside. Candace Dow with a 3-point shot, and it's good. That's her second 3-pointer of the night. Fort Zumwalt back down the court. Zone defense being played by Elsberry. They get the ball in and broken up, and now here's a long 3-point shot for Fort Zumwalt. Rebound by Zumwalt. And little over the back action there on Abby Jenkins, but they called it out of bounds off of Fort Zumwalt anyway. Bayhan is pretty lucky because that should have been a foul right there. That would have been her third, and that would not be good for Zumwalt. Jenkins with it on the outside. Kinsler, Dowell, Robinson. She looked at a 3-pointer and decided against it. There's Tyra Henderson with 3 and no good, and a rebound to Bayhan. And now Emily Wright has it, brings it up. She's their point guard. Megan Albers has it now, back to Wright. Get the ball in deep to Bayhan, and there was another offensive foul right there, and that's her third foul. That was a pretty obvious foul there. She put her shoulder down and jerked her elbow out. So Candace Dowell brings it up the court again. Henderson at 25 feet and gets the ball taken right away from her. Fort Zumwalt just overwhelming with the height. Here's a 3-point attempt, no good, and Kinsler up with the rebound. So Dowell back down the court again. Tyra Henderson drives the baseline, puts it up and puts it over the basket, but Peyton Robinson grabbed it before it went out of bounds, but obviously her toe touched the line. So out of bounds, under the basket to Fort Zumwalt East as they bring it back up the court. There's a shot from the free throw line for Yasmin Edmondson, and she doesn't miss many of those. 2 points. There was a shot by Kylie Kinsler, and the rebound went over to Fort Zumwalt, and they tried a fast break and threw the ball out of bounds. So the score is 16-3 with a little over 4 minutes remaining in the first half. I said 16-3. 16-13 is the score with a little over 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Fort Zumwalt, and now Tanisha Henderson's back in the game, bringing the ball up the court. She dribbles down, gets it over to Kylie Kinsler. Back to Tanisha. And that play was broken up by Emily Wright, but she slid out of bounds with it. Okay, they get the ball into Peyton Robinson. She looks to drive the baseline, decides against it. That pass right to Fort Zumwalt. And that shot is up and good for Yasmin Edmondson. That young lady can play ball. Kylie Kinsler drives the baseline. Misses the shot. Olivia Kinsler. Olivia Kinsler puts the ball up. Can't get the shot, but does draw the foul. First shot is no good. That foul was on Edmondson. It's only her first. Elsberry could do a lot better if they could get her to commit a bunch of fouls. But she is a good player. She's not going to be doing that kind of stuff. Second shot is no good for Olivia Kinsler. And that ball's thrown out of bounds by Fort Zumwalt, goes over to Elsberry. And Peyton Robinson is called with a travel. Just a little under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. The score is 18-13, Fort Zumwalt over Elsberry. And Megan Albers could not handle that pass, and it went out of bounds. The Lady Lions are giving the Lady Indians all kinds of opportunities, but they're not hitting their shots like they should, and they're just not taking advantage of the chances they have. Kylie Kinsler there, she drove right in for 2 points. Fort Zumwalt with the ball out on the perimeter. There's Wright trying to set up a play. And Talia Williams tried driving in. The shot was no good, but she does draw the foul, and that foul's on Olivia Kinsler. It's her first. So Talia Williams is on the line for her first free throw attempts tonight. Referee down there in the paint doing a little bit of dancing. Free throw is up and good. Fort Zumwalt has not missed a free throw tonight, and they still haven't. And we have a timeout called on the floor. 30-second timeout, but let's get a quick commercial in here. Take a break.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
All right, timeout is over. They've told the teams to get back out there. 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the first half. 7 team fouls for each team. So both teams are in the 1-and-1. Elsberry with the ball out of bounds to go the length of the court. Kinsler gets it in to Tiny Henderson. She brings it up, gets it over to her sister Tyra. Gives it back to Tiny. And that is going to be a foul, I believe, on Yasmin Edmondson. That's her second. Fort Zumwalt can ill afford to have her in foul trouble. That puts Tiny Henderson on the line for a 1-and-1. First shot is up and no good. And there was a lane violation there by somebody, obviously for Elsberry, because it's Fort Zumwalt's ball out of bounds. Pressure put on by Elsberry. But Fort Zumwalt breaks through it pretty quick. That pass was broken up by Candace Dow, and now here's Tiny Henderson bringing it up the court. Tyra Henderson puts it up and no good. Peyton Robinson with the rebound and could not get it to drop from right underneath. Those shots have to go down. Here's a three-point attempt for Zumwalt, no good. Yasmin Edmondson with a rare miss. And there's a foul called on. That foul is on Cheyenne Green. That is her second of the night. That puts Tyra Henderson on the line. First shot is up and good. Tyra Henderson ready for her second shot. It's up, and I thought it was going to be short and rebounded by Fort Zumwalt. And there's Edmondson going in, gets the ball back out on the perimeter. They get the ball in deep. Oh, there's Edmondson from right underneath. The ball was thrown in desperately, and she got it, went right underneath, got the 2 points and the foul. That foul is on Kylie Kinsler. That's her first. And the free throw is good for Edmondson. And I'm going to have to get a calculator out to add up all of her points. Let's just put it this way. She's got the majority of them. Peyton Robinson on the outside. Cross-court pass over to Tyra Henderson. That ball was in the air 20 minutes. Peyton Robinson from right underneath. And it looked like she was fouled, but apparently not. Candace Dow from 15 feet away with 2 points. So 14 seconds remaining in the first half. Fort Zumwalt with the ball. Scores 23-18. And there's a free throw line shot. No good. And Tyra Henderson up with 2 seconds. She puts the ball up. And no good. So we have played 16 minutes of basketball here. 2 8-minute quarters. And the score at this point in time is Fort Zumwalt East 23. The the Elsberry Lady Indians 18. So, I tell you what, I am impressed with the way Elsberry's playing this game. After watching Fort Zumwalt East during the Winfield tournament this year, there's no doubt they are a very good team. The Lady Indians are staying right with them. I mean, they're 5 points behind in score right now. You can attribute a lot of that. They've missed shots from right underneath. I know I harp on that a lot with missing their shots underneath, but there's the difference in the game right there, folks. Get those shots from underneath, and they would be tied or ahead. So anyway, right now, the end of the first half, we have Tanisha Henderson with a three-point shot, and she's also got 2 fouls. So she's been out of the game quite a bit. Peyton Robinson with 2 points. Candace Dowell with 8 points. That includes 2 3-pointers. Kylie Kinsler with 2 points. And Tyra Henderson with 3 points. And she is 3 for 4 from the line. All 3 of those points are free throws. Olivia Kinsler has 2 free throws, and she's missed both of them. Now, on the Fort Zumwalt side, Liz Behan has 2 points. Cheyenne Green has 2 points. That's 2 free throws. And Talia Williams has a field goal and 2 free throws. All the rest of the shots have been Yasmin Edmondson. Now, Liz Behan, their tall player, she has 3 fouls, so she's in a little bit of foul trouble. But Yasmin Edmondson has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. She's got 15 points. So one player, Yasmin Edmondson, has 15 of the 23 points. So they need to focus. Well, here I am doing the coaching, and I'm not a coach. Don't claim to be. Never have been one. But my opinion, put it this way, if they focus more on her, they need to neutralize what she's doing. Unfortunately, Fort Zumwalt has enough good players that they can neutralize Edmondson, and the others are going to jump in there. But still, Edmondson is just running wild on them. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a halftime break here. We got 7.5 minutes till the third quarter starts.
Ever wonder where your hard-earned money goes when you deposit it? It stays here, at home, to help make living here what we've all come to expect. We've got everything the mega banks do, but we've made a commitment to our community. So when you're looking for the right bank, see People's Bank and Trust, Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker at our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about. We all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust, Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
People's Bank and Trust knows that every minute of your day counts, so it's good to have a few time savers on your side. Take internet banking, for example. It allows you to bank from home rather than having to make an extra trip to the bank just to check your balance, transfer funds, or view recent transactions. You can even pay your bills online, eliminating a trip to the post office for stamps. Best of all, People's Bank and Trust offers all of this free of charge. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net and sign up today. Just another example of hometown banking the way it should be. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort You'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You'd get some pretty weird luck showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
You're listening to the Indian Sports Network, courtesy of the Elsberry Democrat. Log on to www.elsberrydemocrat.com today.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
People's Bank and Trust invites everyone to come to the game, the high school sports games that are going on right now. All area teams have put a great amount of effort and time in to perfect their skills, and they are ready to play. Support the community schools and students by cheering them on to a great season of games. People's Bank and Trust proudly supports the area teams and looks forward to seeing you at each and every game.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we can teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker. At our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about, we all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Elsberry Pharmacy and Medicine Shop in Troy, we know what a pharmacy is meant to be. We take the time to know you and your healthcare needs. Most prescriptions are filled in 15 minutes or less, and we offer free local delivery and a friendly and knowledgeable staff to answer your questions. Better service, better value, better healthcare. Locally owned and operated and proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com. At Elsberry Pharmacy and Medicine Shop in Troy, we know what a pharmacy is meant to be. We have numerous programs to help your wallet as well as save precious time. Save money with our RX Savings Club program, and you can save time with our medication synchronization program, where we fill your prescriptions at the same time each month. We also offer our medication adherence program to help you remember to take your medications on time as prescribed by your doctor. Better value, better service, better health care. Locally owned and operated, and proud to be your local independent pharmacy in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com.
Okay, we are back for this third quarter. Score is 23-18. Fort Zumwalt over Elsberry. Fort Zumwalt with the ball. He got the ball on the outside. Gets it balled in deep to Bayhan, and she's up for 2 points and a foul. That takes the score 25-18. Bayhan is on the line now with a free throw, and it is good. 26-18. Kinsler gets the ball into Tiny Henderson. And she is called for a double dribble. So the Lady Lions with the ball underneath. Hurrying down the court. Cross court pass. Now they get the ball in deep. Shot is no good. Still no good again. And there's Bayhan, no good. And Mackenzie Gladney is up with the rebound. And there's Bayhan with another foul, and that is her fourth foul of the game. Got a feeling she's going to be coming out of the game, and she is, and Megan Albers takes her place. So with 4 fouls, Liz Bayhan sits down. Tiny Henderson tries driving in, couldn't get in, but she does draw the foul on Emily Wright. And that's her third foul. So Fort Zumwalt is showing a little bit of foul trouble. Tiny Henderson takes it back out on the point. And just like that, another foul on Emily Wright, and that is her fourth foul. So Fort Zumwalt all of a sudden has 2 players with 4 fouls early in the second half. Tyra Henderson with a 3-point attempt, no good. But Elsberry gets the rebound and gets it back out on the point to Tiny Henderson. There's another 3-point attempt, and that's no good. And Fort Zumwalt does get the rebound that time, as Edmondson gets the rebound. Keeping the ball out on the perimeter. Now they get the ball in deep. And Cheyenne Green is called for 3 seconds in the lane. Score is 26-18, 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Once again, Fort Zumwalt is giving Elsberry all kinds of opportunities. They just need to cash in on them. And there is a foul called on Megan Albers. That's her first foul of the game. And we have a timeout called. Take another quick break here.
Hi, my name is Jerry Callahan, pharmacist and owner of the medicine shops in Troy and Elsberry Pharmacy. We strive every day to bring better service, better value, and better health care to our friends in our communities. We want to say thank you for your support, and we're proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com.
All right, Kyla Kinzer with the ball out of bounds. Gives it into Peyton Robinson, and she cannot hit from underneath, but she was guarded very heavily. But Fort Zumwalt up with that rebound in an 8-point lead. The ball in deep to Cheyenne Green, and she's in for 2 points. Tanisha Henderson now bringing it up the court again. 10-point lead for Fort Zumwalt. Kylie Kinzer drives the baseline. Nothing there. Gets it back out on the high post to Henderson. And she starts to drive in from the high post and draws a foul. And I believe that is on, well, it must be on Megan Albers. That's her second foul of the night. So Elsberry with the ball out of bounds. They get it into Kinsler. Kylie Kinsler, that is. Tyra Henderson, long two-pointer. Kylie Kinsler with the rebound and puts the ball up and no good. And rebound over to Fort Zumwalt. And foul is called on Peyton Robinson. That's her fourth, and she seems to, looks like she got hit in the throat. There's a long three-point shot there for Albers. No good. Bella Mosby up with the rebound. Long pass underneath to Kylie Kinsler, and it was over her head. So Fort Zumwalt with the ball coming down the court again. They got the ball and a 10-point lead. Drives the baseline, and the shot is up and good for Edmondson. Believe it or not, that's her first 2 points of the half. And that foul is going to be on Edmondson. And that's her third of the game. So Fort Zumwalt has 2 players with 4 fouls and 1 player with 3 fouls. Ball into Tyra Henderson. She gets the ball back to Bella Mosby, puts the ball up, and draws the foul. She drives the baseline. That foul is on Cheyenne Green, and that's her third foul. So Bella Mosby at the line. I think she's going to be shooting 2. Free throw is up, and it's good. Second free throw is up and good. 30-20 is the score. 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Fort Zumwalt gets the ball in deep, and there was a shoulder pushed out there, and that foul is called on Cheyenne Green, and that's her 4th of the night. All right, there's Tyra Henderson up with 2 points there. Score is 30-22. 3-point shot there for Edmondson, no good. And Tiny Henderson up with the rebound. There's Candace Dow, takes it to Kylie Kinsler. And she couldn't get the shot up, but she is fouled. And that is Tylea Williams, and that's her first foul. She's one of the few that's not in foul trouble for Fort Zumwalt. So Kylie Kinsler on the line for 2 shots. First shot is up and no good. Second shot is up, and it's no good. And Fort Zumwalt with the rebound. That's Edmondson has that rebound. Albers has the ball out on the high post, way out on the high post. Edmondson with another three-point shot, no good. And Candace Dowell up with the rebound, gets it over to Tyra Henderson. Bella Mozzie fumbled that ball around but was able to control it. Here's Bella Mozzie underneath to Kylie Kinsler. She gets the shot up, cannot get it to drop, but she does draw the foul, and I believe that's on, yes it is, it's on Talia Williams again. That's her second. So Kylie Kinsler to the line. First shot is up and no good. She is 0 for 3 from the line. Next shot is up and good. Get the ball. Well, that shot was up, no good. All right, Tiny Henderson has the ball, gets it into Kylie Kinsler. Bella Mozzie has it on the outside. Here's Candace Dow for a long two-point shot, and it's good. So Fort Zumwalt bringing the ball up. That is Williams bringing it up. And that pass broken up by Tyra Henderson. And the foul is on Megan Albers, and that's her third foul. That puts Tyra Henderson on the line. And that's 10 team fouls for Fort Zumwalt in this early in this second half. So that puts Tyra on the line with 2 shots. First shot is up and good. Second shot is up, and it rims out. And apparently there was a lane violation there somewhere. I didn't see it, but Tyra's on the line with another shot. She missed that second shot. I could tell that was. And just like that, on the in play, Tyra Henderson gets another foul. Was called on Talia Williams. Shot is good. That's Williams' third foul. Fort Zumwalt has a lot of players in foul trouble. The shot was no good. Score is now 30-27. Fort Zumwalt bringing it down to court. Get the ball in deep to Bayhan, and she is called for a travel. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. There's Kylie Kinsler right underneath for 2 points. Fort Zumwalt bringing up 30-29 is the score. And there is a foul called on Bella Mozzie. That's her first of the night. She comes out and Peyton Robinson goes in. There's a three-point shot for Edmondson. Tiny Henderson could not get the layup, so they bring it back out, and she sets up the play now. Score is 30-29. Fort Zumwalt over Elsberry. Candace Dow with a three-point shot, and no good. Tyra Henderson up with the rebound and a shot, and could not get the shot. And the Fort Zumwalt comes down with the rebound and the ball, and Emily Wright has the ball now, trying to set up a play. To get the ball, and Tyra Henderson just picked that right out of the air. So now here's Candace Dow getting it in to Peyton Robinson, and she puts it in. That puts the Lady Indians on top, 31-30. 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Elsberry has shown some life now. There's a three-point shot. No good for Emily Wright. Right underneath, no good. Peyton Robinson with the rebound. And she slows it down, gets it back out to Tanisha Henderson. She's out at the point with 12 seconds remaining. And throws it away. That play didn't work. Whatever play they were going to play didn't work. So Fort Zumwalt has it out of bounds with 6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. They get the ball into Bayhan. She gets it in deep, and Peyton Robinson's knocked down, but there is no foul called. So that is the end of three quarters. And the score is Elsberry 31 and Fort Zumwalt 30. Let's take a quick break.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You'd get some pretty weird luck showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
All right, we are back for the final 8 minutes of regulation of this game. Score at this point in time is Elsberry Lady Indians 31 and the Fort Zumwalt East Lady Lions 30. Elsberry's shown some more life here in this third quarter. And the Lady Lions have players in foul trouble. So Elsberry gets the ball to start this fourth quarter. Now there's some pressure here by Fort Zumwalt East. They're playing man-to-man now. Gets the ball into Tyra. She puts the ball down. There's over to Peyton Robinson, and her shot is no good, and Behan is up with the rebound. So Fort Zumwalt has the ball in a 1-point deficit. Edmondson with the ball now, back over to Wright to get the ball into Behan. She puts the ball up, and 2 points. And Fort Zumwalt takes the lead, 32-31. There was 2-point shot for Tiny Henderson, no good. And timeout called by Elsberry, 30-second timeout.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
All right, we are back. 7 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in regulation. Ball is into Elsberry. Tiny Henderson tries to drive it in and tries a bounce pass, and it goes off the foot of a Fort Zumwalt defender. So it's still Elsberry's ball. They get the ball into Tyra, and she's not able to get a shot away. And Tiny's playing it now. Candace Dow out on the point. Long pass over to Kylie Kinsler. And she brings it around over to Dowell again. Peyton Robinson goes to drive it in and she hits Edmondson, and the ball goes out of bounds to Fort Zumwalt. So 6:39 to go. Fort Zumwalt with the ball and a 1-point lead. Gets the ball into Bayhan. She puts the ball up and good for 2 points. 34-31, Fort Zumwalt. Bayhan out there playing dangerously. She's got 4 fouls. Gets the ball into Tiny Henderson. She puts the ball up, and it is good. 34-33. Fort Zumwalt with the lead and the ball. Zone defense by Elsberry. Peyton Robinson with the rebound after that long 3-point attempt. She gives the ball to Tanisha Henderson, and she brings it up the court. And they go to set up a play. Peyton Robinson thought about driving it in. Now here's Tyra Henderson, drives it in, gets it over to Kylie Kinsler, and she cannot get the shot to drop, and Behan is up with that rebound. Here's Edmondson with the ball. Puts it up front of free throw line, and 2 points for Edmondson. 36-33. 3-point lead for Fort Zumwalt. 5 minutes remaining. Tiny Henderson drives it in, and the ball does not drop, but Tyra with the rebound. There's Peyton Robinson, gets her own rebound, puts it up, no good. And Behan has got the rebound, and she draws the foul. I believe that foul, it is. It's on Tyra Henderson. That's her second of the night. So that turns the ball over to Fort Zumwalt with a 3-point lead. 4.5 minutes remaining. They get the ball into Behan, and who is this foul on? That foul is on Kylie Kinsler. It's her second of the night. Nobody for Elsberry has more than 2 fouls. They've got several players with 2 fouls, but nobody has more than 2. Shot is no good. And Behan up with the rebound. And she draws a foul. Her shot was no good. Bella Mawsey with that foul. That's her second of the night. So Liz Behan on the line for 2 shots. First one is up, and it rolls around for about a half an hour and then falls in. Second shot is up, and it looked like it was going to be short, and it was. But the rebound to Fort Zumwalt, and Cheyenne Green with the putback, 2 points. So 39-33, Fort Zumwalt pulls out with a 6-point lead with 4 minutes remaining. And we have a timeout called by Elsberry.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents.
All right, Elsberry with the ball, gets it into Tanisha Henderson. She's out on the point, gets it over to Dowell. Bella Mawsey on the baseline, and she is called for traveling. So with the 6-point lead, Fort Zumwalt gets the turnover. Elsberry with a little bit of pressure, but not a whole lot. Get the ball in deep to Behan, and 2 points for Behan. All right, Tanisha Henderson bringing it up the line again. 8-point lead for Fort Zumwalt East. Kinsler with the ball, gets it over to Bella Mawsey. There's Dowell has it. She picked up her dribble, gets it back to Mawsey. In deep to Tyra Henderson, and she's called for a travel. So the last 2 possessions for Elsberry has resulted in a travel and a turnover to Fort Zumwalt East. More pressure by Elsberry, but Fort Zumwalt is handling it quite well. And that foul is called on Tanisha Henderson right at the out of bounds line. That is Tiny's 3rd foul of the night. She's the first Elsberry player to have 3 fouls. That puts Emily Wright on the line. Fort Zumwalt East has done a heck of a job tonight playing these players with 4 fouls on them. Emily Wright's out there with 4 fouls. Free throw is up and good for Emily Wright. Unbelievably, that's her first point of the night. Second shot rolls out. Gladney up with the rebound. Nine-point lead. And Tiny Henderson tried driving and couldn't get the shot to drop and couldn't draw the foul. So Emily Wright brings it back down again. There's Edmondson with the ball, gets it over to Behan, and the ball is out of bounds against Fort Zumwalt. Kylie Kinsler back in the game now for Bella Mawsey, and Peyton Robinson's back in the game for Mackenzie Gladney. 42-33 is the score, 9-point lead for Fort Zumwalt East. And Tanisha Henderson with the ball. Kylie Kinsler looked at driving in. Now they passing the ball a lot on the perimeter. Peyton Robinson, the play was there, but the people weren't right in place. There's Edmondson for 2 more points. That's her 6th point of the second half, playing with 3 fouls. And Kinsler lost control of that ball on the baseline and goes out of bounds to Fort Zumwalt East. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this game. 44-33. Fort Zumwalt's pulled out to an 11-point lead. They get the ball in deep to Behan, back to Edmondson, back to Williams, back to Wright, back, playing a little pitch and catch there, and right underneath. Beautiful play there. Shot was put up by Green and 2 points. Henderson brings it down. Here's a 3-point shot. No good for Candace Dow. She puts it up again. And let's see who this foul is on. That foul is on Edmondson. That is her 4th foul. So 4 players with 4 fouls, but there's less than a minute and a half remaining in the game. Tyra Henderson on the line for 2 shots. First shot is good. 46-34, 12-point lead for Fort Zumwalt. Second shot is up and good. 46-35, and Fort Zumwalt with an 11-point lead and the ball. And that pass is over the head of Green and out of bounds to Elsberry. Tyra Henderson throws it in. There's a two-point attempt for Tiny Henderson from the free throw line. 2 points and a quick timeout. 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining in this ball game. Take a quick break here.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, Fort Zumwalt with the ball underneath the basket, and ball stolen away by Elsberry, and then quickly stolen back again by Fort Zumwalt. And they get the ball. They get the ball down the line, and a foul is called on Abby Jenkins. That's her 2nd of the night. 54.8 seconds remaining in this ball game. And Talia Williams is on the line for a 1-and-1, I believe. And Jenkins is out of the game, and Dowell is in. First shot is up for Williams, and it is good. 47-37, 10-point lead for Fort Zumwalt. Second shot is good. And timeout called.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
All right, we have 54.8 seconds. Like I said, I'm having to look at two scoreboards here to get the entire picture because I can see part of each one of them. I can see the 54 on this scoreboard to my left, and I can see the .8 on the scoreboard to my right. But either way, there's 54.8 seconds left. Fort Zumwalt is leading this game 48-37, 11-point lead. Elsberry had a heck of a surge going on in the third quarter, came back and was leading by 1 point at the end of three quarters. But Fort Zumwalt has come back now to take a substantial lead here in the fourth quarter. Tiny Henderson drives in, gets the ball over to Tyra Henderson, and there's Mackenzie Gladney with a shot, no good. Three-pointer and for Tanisha Henderson, and it is good. And that foul quickly on Tanisha Henderson. That's her fourth of the night. And that puts Emily Wright on the line for a 1-and-1. Shot is up and no good, and Behan is up with the rebound, but she walks. So Elsberry with the ball, 30 seconds remaining. Tiny Henderson drives in and couldn't get it to drop and does not draw the foul. And Liz Behan up with the rebound, and she draws the foul. That foul was on Tiny Henderson, and she fouls out of the game. So with 24.1 seconds remaining in the game, Tiny Henderson is fouled out. All these Fort Zumwalt players playing the second half with 4 fouls, and Elsberry's the first one to foul one out. Meanwhile, Behan's up to the line with first free throws good. Second free throw is short, and rebound over to Fort Zumwalt, no good. Liz Behan up with another 2 points. So here's Dow with a 3-point attempt, no good. Behan with the rebound, and she is fouled again with 2.7 seconds remaining in the game. Score is 51-40, 11-point lead. Possibly going to be more here. Liz Behan is good from that free throw line. First shot is good. Second shot is good. So Elsberry with the ball out of bounds. Final shot there from Tyra Henderson, no good. Final score, 53-40. For Fort Zumwalt East, Lady Lions over the Elsberry Lady Indians. And so that was actually a very good game, I thought, for most of the game for Elsberry. Like I said, watching the Fort Zumwalt East Lady Lions in the Winfield tournament, they are an extremely good team playing against a younger team for Elsberry who has no seniors on the team. And that does make a lot of difference when you don't have any seniors. The final scoring for this game, Tiny Henderson, who fouled out in the game, had 9 points. Peyton Robinson had 4 points. Candace Dowell had 10 points. Kylie Kinsler had 5 points. I'll get it right here. Bella Mawsey had 2 points. And Tyra Henderson had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 points. And all of those were free throws except one field goal. She was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 11 from the line. Olivia Kinsler was 0 for 2 from the line. And Kylie Kinsler was 1 for 4 from the line. And Tanisha Henderson was 1 for 1 from the line. So free throws were nothing to write home about. For the Fort Zumwalt East Lady Lions, 2 players stood out tremendously as far as scoring goes. That was Liz Behan and Yasmin Edmondson, both playing with 4 fouls late in the game. Liz Behan ended up the night with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points. And 15 of those were in the second half. And Yasmin Edmondson ended up with 21 points. 15 of those were in the first half. Emily Wright only had 1 point for the game. And Cheyenne Green had 8 points for the game, 6 of which were in the second half. And Talia Williams had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for the game, 4 of which were first half points. Liz Behan was she wasn't perfect from the line. She missed 1 free throw. She had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She hit 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Yasmin Edmondson was 3 for 3. Emily Wright was 1 for 2. Cheyenne Green was 2 for 2. And Talia Williams was 4 for 4 from the line. So, between rebounding and free throws and just the shot percentage from underneath the basket, Elsberry still just couldn't get those shots to hit from underneath with all of that. And that ended us up with the score of 53-40. So, now it's on to Clopton Thursday night, where they'll be taking on the always tough Lady Hawks. So I will be there for the girls varsity game at 5:30, and that will be followed by the boys varsity game at 7 o'clock, where they'll be taking on the Clopton Hawks. So join me for those games Thursday evening. And let's see if we can get the Indians and Lady Indians back on the winning track. So I'm going to close it out here tonight from St. Peters, Missouri at Fort Zumwalt East High School, home of the Lions and Lady Lions. This is Kenny Masterson saying good night for tonight, and I will see you again Thursday. The Indian Sports Network is off the air. Good night, everybody.